Mark Zuckerberg is a capitalist hero to me. Before I nail him, I want to add to that list, George Soros, Tom Stein, and many other liberal rich guys. I'm impressed by this story. They deserve a standing ovation. They're great Americans. However, there are things that come out of their mouths. I just want to say, people, wise up. Now, in Zuckerberg's case, he gave the commencement address at Harvard. And, I thought those things were supposed to be, creating, motivating students and giving them initiative and drive. Uh, Two things he said, just I'm scratching my head still. One was that he became a billionaire because of luck. Yeah, luck. There's a real initiative builder, huh? I'm sure the students thinking, man, why'd I come to Harvard if it's going to be luck? I'd love to say to Mark, dude, where did you learn to code? I don't know your history, but at some point you learned to do computer programming, and that is like the most awesome skill you can have. And then secondly, somewhere along the way, and I think there's a movie about this, you decided to profit from this skill, to make money, entrepreneurial spirit. And you were successful. And that's what those Harvard students needed to hear about. That's what every person in America needs to hear about. Get a skill, have a drive about you, go after it. Second thing he said was that the government needs to provide, I had never even heard of this before, universal salaries to the poor. And again, is there anything as demotivating as that? I mean, if you're on the borderline, you're like, oh, I get a salary just because I'm poor? Cool, I'm going to do a damn thing. What a terrible idea. I'll give you one example. I mean, there's many reasons of why this is a terrible idea. Let me give you just one. I was reading recently about the stats of homeless, and do you realize over 50% of homeless people are addicts, either to alcohol or other drugs, complete abusers? I mean, giving those people a salary, I hope you're going to give them a death certificate with it because they're going to die soon. So crazy. And so I end with this personal Mark Zuckerberg story from his own newspaper in Palo Alto, California, where he lives, as well as the Google founders and Tesla and PayPal. It's like the richest area, other than Washington, D.C. on the planet. There's a story, though. He bought the four houses around his house, paid over $10 million apiece for them. And his plan is, according to the article, is to tear each of them down and rebuild them. But he's going to make them 20% smaller. See, that gives him more space. And they're not clear if he's going to sell them or rent them. Well, let me tell you what I'm clear about, because I know rich liberals. There's not going to be any poor people or refugees there, okay? There's going to be none. They won't be anywhere near him. And that's always the way the rich liberals talk, and that's how they act. And I want to say to Mark, dude, if you got a problem, you feel guilty about your wealth, give it away. Give it away. Find these poor people, set them up on the salaries, give them these houses, give them your house. Let the refugees move in. It gets me. I just want to say, I don't want to say shut up. I want them to keep speaking freely. But man, I wish they would wise up.